distinguished leaders, innovators, investors, friends, and fellow Africans. It's a privilege for me to be here today at Pachadu. This is my first time at Davos. I don't know how many people here are also first-timers, but this is my first time, and it's a wonderful experience. For me, about Pachadu, which means together with shared purpose, the idea could not be more aligned with what we're trying to do today, connecting continents, unlocking Africa's growth together. And that is because Africa's growth will not be unlocked by any one country. It won't be unlocked by one sector or institution acting alone. We truly have to come together. My name is Sydney Sampson, and I'm the founder and CEO of Sedanic Group, a management and development organization working at the intersection of health, education, agriculture, technology, and policy reforms across 12 countries. And but what I want to really emphasize today is I am not here standing as a CEO or as a sponsor or any of that. I am here as an African who made a deliberate choice to return home, to believe and to build. And I think that is paying off. And I think that's what the conversation here today is, about the potential that we have as a people to really rewrite the narrative of what Africans can be, of the value that we can offer the world. And these conversations that we're having today, they matter because things are changing. Africa is a defining moment. The commonplace information today is that in the next few years or next decades, we're going to have the youngest population. In fact, we already do have that now. And the population is growing at a huge rate. And soon, 1 in 5 persons on the planet will be an African. How are we harnessing that? What potential are we seeing in all of that? And this is not a future story, if you ask me. It is our present-day reality. Across the continent, economic growth is rebounding. Yes, we've seen challenges. We've seen things changing across countries. But I believe you must not waste a good crisis, as someone said. And one thing that has helped me as a person, and my company, just to mention, is headquartered in Nigeria, is the fact that in spite of all of the challenges that one might see, I decided to come back home and build. So a little story about myself. I came from a very humble background. I'm from a little village somewhere there in Nigeria. And I struggled to go. I wanted to go to university abroad to get the best education, and my parents couldn't really afford that at the time. And I got a scholarship that sent me to Russia. And people say, why Russia? But I didn't have a lot of options. That was a scholarship on the table, so I took it. So I got there, and I did my best. Had good grades and all of that. And at the end, I set up a business, and I was living the good life. I had the permanent residence to stay in Russia, and all of that. I was headed towards citizenship, and I decided to return to Nigeria. And my parents were like, what's wrong with you? Why are you coming back home to this? And at the time, no matter how much you tried to explain, it felt like you had a better life out there. You can send some forex down home, things to be good. But I said, I see a lot more problems back here, and someone has to start solving them. And that was why I pitched. I didn't have a lot, but I had a little that I could use to make that change. And that is because no one is coming to save us. All of us Africans, no one is coming to save us. Yes, global capital matters. Partnerships matter. And we are going to do that. But Africa's future must be built by Africans working with the world, not waiting for the world. We must lead with the mindset that we have a lot of value to give to the global community. Sedanic started with one person, one idea. I started out really small in a cubicle, first without an office, and then with an office, and then we grew. Today we have we're a $10 million business, running in 12 countries, 200 professionals working for us, included in Asia, and all of that. And we continue to get great feedback on the kind of value we are offering. And one thing, someone was asking me, when do you stop? Where are you headed? How do you want this to go as a management consultant firm? I said, in my office, there's a map of the world. And that map is big, occupying one big part of the wall. And I said, that is my vision board. I actually want Sedani to be everywhere and provide support everywhere. And it is not an impossibility. for the fact that in the last 8 years, by August this year we'll be 8 as an organization, we've been able to grow from 1 to 200 people. We've been able to grow from 1 country to 12 countries and still growing. It means that getting to the rest of the world is not an impossibility. You just need to believe it and actually find the right partners to do that together. Now, thank you. The question everyone asks is it not risky to invest in Africa? But what I always say is, we will face the same risk that everyone faced, from policy shifts to infrastructure gaps to capacity constraints, government change, turmoil in some places, conflict. But here is what we have learned at Sedanic. The risk is not in the absence of opportunity. It is in the absence of understanding. Because truly, if you understand the challenges enough and you work with those that understand it and are close enough to those issues, you will surely find a solution. I don't believe that there is no problem that cannot be solved if you understand. And there's that common saying that a problem understood is already half solved. So for us, we use that mindset in everything we do. I know we don't have the whole day, so I will try to bring it to a wrap. And I'll end with 2 reminders. One is from Striver Masiyiwa, and that is that Africa is not short on opportunity. It is short on partners willing to invest with patience and purpose. And as Aliko Dangote said, the biggest risk in Africa today is not investing, it's missing the moment. So who is ready to join the African train? Who is ready to come there to really invest? This is the call to all of us, to know that the opportunities are there. My sisters, just a quick side story, my sisters are in the UK and they're doing great, and today they're like, you know what, I want to come back to Nigeria, I want to invest. I see a lot of big opportunities in fintech, in infrastructure, in all of these areas, and the returns are massive. You won't get them for many years out there. So if you work with those that have managed to understand and de-risk the challenges we have, then you have a chance at true glory investing in Africa. So I call on all of us, please come back home. You might not have to return like me, but work with those that are even there to change Africa for the world. Thank you.